Ta-da! Here we go. Poland Experience, episode number 2, with an old friend of mine, Bianca from Brazil. If you don't know our backstory, we met in, 2009? 2009. We both worked for Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus many years ago.
It's like another life.
Yeah. So I was shocked when I put that Facebook post out, and I said, Oliver being dad, welcome to the world, Oliver Lombardo. And you're like, oh, you're in Poland? It's like, yeah, I'm living in Poland. Oh, me too. It's like, what do you mean you live in Poland?
Yeah.
So we're going to start with, how did you, out of, all the travels and things that are going on in your life, how did you get to Poland?
We would have to go back like about 6 years ago. I was planning a trip to India. So I went to India for about 3 months to study yoga, and there I met lots of Polish people, and I really enjoyed their vibe and everything. And of course I kind of fell in love with a guy there, but nothing very serious. So I went through lots of personal changes in my life related to my previous relationship. So I was living in States back then, and after 1 month I changed everything. I packed my bags and I just decided to come to Poland to meet him, Mateusz, my husband. I was not planning to settle down here. I just I'm just gonna go there for a few months and see how it's gonna go.
That's how it always happens. That's how it usually is. It's like, I'm just gonna go try it for a couple months, or I'm gonna take a trip, and then you never go back to where you were going to.
Yeah, it was like summer or beginning of summer, and I came, but I think I was kind of ready because I came with lots of bags anyway. And I just stayed. And that was the beginning of the story.
So you didn't love me washed. So you hadn't visited Poland before.
I never even heard much about Poland before in my life. I didn't even know much about, anything about Poland.
Really?
Yeah.
At all?
At all. I was kind of Googling before to try to know a little bit about the history, or what is in the map, or which borders with each country. It was really I didn't know much at all.
And you just said, I met this guy, I'm in a terrible situation back over here where I'm at. I need to get out of this thing. Yeah. I'm packing my bags and I'm going to this country.
Yeah. I mean, I had I didn't feel living in States anymore when I was back in States, and I had different options to go to different countries for work and other things. But I felt coming here, and I felt meeting him. So I was like, I'm gonna give a try. So I came, and I don't regret at all.
Zero regrets coming here.
Zero regrets, yeah.
Like how easy or hard was the immigration process?
Very hard. Very hard. I just stopped dealing with them this month, for example, and I'm married since 2016. So it was such a big and long process.
Wow.
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah, I just got my permanent resident status, which is after 5 years. So long.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because I'm Brazilian. Most of the times when we need to resolve some situation or fill up new papers at urgent, is my husband doing and dealing and talking to them in Polish. So I'm kind of not really into what is going on or why things are like this, because he's taking care of all those things very often. But I just know it's take a long time. It's just
5 years. I can't imagine. I had to wait a year and about a year and a half for my temporary residence card.
Yeah, mine too. But for the permanent one, it took me that long.
5 years.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest difficulty besides everything has to be in Polish?
I think it's just like time. For me, I think it's like a rule in my case that is only after 5 years to get the permanent residence.
That's a policy.
Yeah.
You have to be here for that amount of time before you're granted that.
Yeah.
Did you have to learn Polish?
No,
to a
I had
level?
to learn Polish if I think it's after 7 years or after 10 years that if I want to apply to have like a citizenship, for example, to have the passport, then I will have to learn Polish and do like a proper exam and things like that.
Yeah, man, I know. It takes such a long time. It really does.
Yeah.
Even for simple stuff, I'm saying, why does this take so long? All the papers, why can't this be electronic?
And was it like we had a very, very funny situation when I was pregnant and we were trying to accelerate the process to get the papers to get married. And because I was pregnant, so we went to Urgent and we tried to talk to them and they're like, no, we cannot accelerate. And we don't even know if the baby is your baby, if it's a Polish baby. And you're like, whoa, okay.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Can't accelerate this process.
Yeah.
No, I think we tried the same thing, and one of my friends has a contact in Urjad, and it's like, no, you gotta wait your turn.
It seems that everything is very, very, very slow.
Get your patience together, people.
And complicated.
So how different is the immigration process from Brazil to Poland? Like, you think
it's a huge difference.
Is it quicker, easier?
Much quicker. You know, after you have your marriage certificate, you just, apply in the consulate for the passport and, and that's it. You don't need to do a Portuguese test or anything like that.
No Portuguese test.
No.
Did you hire a firm to help you with all your documents, or did you...
No. My husband, he did everything.
Yeah?
Yeah, everything.
Even the interview? Because you go for an interview, yeah?
Yeah. I went for an interview just this month when I went to get the permanent status, and I had to go with a friend.
He couldn't help you in that interview?
No, he cannot be in the same room because they're kind of making questions to me, and then they will kind of make the same questions to him and see if the answers they match. Like, where do you put the vacuum cleaner in your house?
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's a question.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Who goes to do the grocery shopping more often and things like that?
Serious questions here. Yeah. Security is really tight. Yeah. Seriously, they don't want people putting their vacuum cleaner into different places in this country.
Yeah.
Not here, yo. Not here.
Not allowed.
No. So yeah, for the interview, I felt like I could have made it through my interview for my Karta Pobetsu because the woman spoke English. You're told like no one's going to speak English.
But you're alone.
I wasn't alone. I brought a friend too, but I feel we were waiting for this person to come, and she was saying, "Why do you need it? You don't need a person, to help you." I'm like, "I don't know if you speak English." Like we were told, everyone says, "Get a person to help you." Right?
So it's what I
hire someone, and the prices are rather expensive to hire someone to help you
with translation.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was...
I had the impression that she did, she could understand everything. That I would respond to my friend in English, but she was just with the poker face and kind of like pretending that she just...
The Polish poker face.
Yeah.
I love that. That's one of my favorite things here. Like, how you doing? Good to see you.
No, there are some people like our neighbor. We are very lucky to have a neighbor that they are very friendly and we hang out together all the time. But usually, I think most of the people, they are very serious about like interacting.
Super.
Yeah.
That's a huge, if we were to go back to that question, that's a big difference.
I have the friends that sometimes they come to Poland to visit or whatever, and they're like, why in Poland people don't smile? Like they think like they are sad all the time. And it's like, they're just, very serious.
How do you think the government could make this better? How could the government improve efficiency, or what's one of the things? The time limit for you to get the permanent residence, that's the time limit. That's just what it is. But like, meanwhile, I would say, how to make the process a little smoother.
Yeah, I think just a bit quicker and, less papers, less things. And, like when they see like there is a couple already with a baby and they're married, like why complicate things for so long? You know what I mean? It's like, it just makes sense. It's a new family, give, the status of a resident, and so I can travel without problems and things like that. It's just like, in Brazil, it's like that. If you prove you're married, you have a family, it's like, oh, okay, fine.
Come on in, settle down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe because here is very, they don't want so many foreigners here. Like, I don't know. So
you hear that. You definitely hear that about, Poland not taking certain refugees or migrants and limiting the numbers, which, I mean, it's their country. They have the right to do that, I feel. But I also feel that you could make things easier digitally.
Right, you don't need to go to the line and stay for hours and
to just drop off documents.
Yeah,
right. I had to wait. You're waiting 3 hours to go hand in a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Yeah.
There's got to be a way that you can log into a portal, upload a document, and it's official, it's safe, and away you go.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I know that I had 2 tries with the Carta Pobytu. The first one, we waited a long time, like you were saying. The second time around, I was working with the foundation that I'm employed through, and they were like, just go to window, whatever it is, 7B. And I'm like, 7B? What do you mean just go to window 7B? Just go, grab a number, maybe 5 minutes you'll wait, drop your documents off, and away you go. I'm like, is this going to get to the right person? Yeah, it will, no problem. Just go drop your documents off. Sure enough, roll up to Urząd in Katowice, find whatever, that's not the real number, 7B, I'm just making this up for the story, and dropped them in, pick the number, dropped them off, no problem. Yeah, so it's just a little tip for you. You don't always have to wait in line. Next time you want to do this process, then the next 5 years, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a window you can go and just drop stuff off at, and it made it so much simpler. But yeah, digitalize the system.
When you don't know, like, the process, you're just like, oh, okay, let's wait and see. Yeah.
Yeah. When you don't know, it's an issue. But when you go through it and you have more experience, that's what it's all about, people.
After a few years.
After a couple of years. Yeah. So you come to Poland for a person. Yeah. How did you meet this person the first time? Did you, where was it? How did this all happen? The story. Tell me your love story.
All right. So I was traveling in India, as I told you, and towards the end of my trip, I met Mateusz. And it was really nice. We had many things in common, and it was very nice to spend time with him. And then we decided to travel a bit more together. But it was just like we were together, but we didn't have any plans to be together, of course. He has his life going on, I had my life, and we're like, okay, bye-bye. So I went back to States, tried to figure out my own life there. He came back to Katowice. I was thinking about which country to move. I got some job offer in some country in the Middle East, or I was thinking about moving to California. I was a bit confused. And then talking to him, we were having contact every day, talking every day on the phone or through Skype. So we were kind of very bonded, but even though we were bonded, we didn't have any plans to be together or anything like that. But this subject came up, like, oh, why not Poland? So why not you come to Poland and see? And I was like, all right, okay. So I checked the flight tickets and I packed my stuff. I came. So, yeah.
Where'd you stay when you got here?
In where?
Where did you stay when you...
Here in Katowice.
You just went right to what you moved right into... Get out of here.
Yeah.
You just moved right into Mateusz's apartment.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a time where he was living in a big apartment with other people, like roommates, and it was kind of very cool because we're like different open-minded people and doing different things. Some people like still students, other people working, and it felt very, very, very nice. And it was also my first experience of having roommates. Of course, after quite some time, you want some more privacy and you don't want to, be in a shared apartment. But in the beginning, it was really fun. It was very, very nice.
That's ridiculous. I meet this guy in India, talking over the internet, says come to Poland, pack my bags, jump on a plane. And where do I stay? Not in a hostel. Didn't rent my own apartment. I just went right into him with his roommates. That's courage, man.
Yeah.
For real.
Some people feel like, Bianca, you may be crazy. You don't even know if this relationship gonna work at all.
I can hear the comments right now like, you're nuts. It's like, no,
but it was very nice. It was very, very cool.
That's super, super awesome. Did you have a Polish wedding or a Brazilian wedding? Or both?
No, we just had a very simple Polish wedding. I was pregnant already. And we just had like a very simple ceremony with close friends.
So no massive ceremony at the church, no crazy party.
No, and I was pregnant.
You were pregnant.
I know that the Polish weddings, they are very intense.
Oh my God.
I mean, traditionally, right? Like 3 days or something, and lots of vodka, and it was not a time for us.
So just chill.
Yeah.
Close friends, close family.
We went out to have some dinner, and it was very simple like that.
Did your family come over from Brazil?
No, because we were depending on the urgent for the paper, so we didn't know exactly the date we could get married. We just knew 1 week, like you can get married on this date, and then we're like organizing some court, like okay, we're gonna get married next week, and it was everything like that, super quick decisions.
Bing, bang, boom.
Yeah.
In and out, making it happen.
Yeah, it was nothing like, we have 7 months to plan and invite family over,
That takes so much planning.
Yeah.
With an international wedding of that, and it's not even it being of a large scale. It's just there's a ton of planning that goes on for stuff like that. Parents, cousins, siblings, friends.
And this idea of getting married in Brazil is very romantic, but at this time of our lives, I don't think we were planning anything like that.
Okay.
Especially now with pandemia, it's just like...
Yeah. Have you been to a Polish wedding? In your time here?
Those traditional... No, I haven't.
No. Okay. I was going to ask you, what are the differences between, a Brazilian wedding and a Polish wedding?
I know like those little, games and traditions they usually do during the Polish wedding, but I haven't been in one.
No?
No.
You gotta experience a Polish wedding.
It's crazy,
You
right?
have to. It's unbelievable.
Okay, I'll wait for you to get married.
You're on the friends list for sure. You're coming over. Definitely. All right, cool. So you've never been to a Polish wedding? That's so crazy.
No, I haven't.
All your friends and stuff here.
But every 5 years, Mateus' family make this big family reunion. That is about 300 people. We go somewhere, and spend like a weekend together. And that was for me like crazy, like just like probably like a Polish wedding, but like a Polish family reunion of 300 people with like alcohol and kielbasa all day long and like crazy stuff.
All the time, yeah.
All the time.
In one of the clubs, there's a few clubs that do this here once the clubs get open again, but you can go, it's like a fake wedding that happens, and you can go experience a Polish wedding just in the club. You have to pay, of course, you're not invited and free of charge, but yeah. That's recommended. Go do that once the clubs open up. There's like someone gets. It's a fake bride and groom, of course, but the food and the drink and the dancing. Oh,
that's funny.
On.
I never heard about that.
Yeah, I know. When I saw the advertisement first, I was like, what? Monica's like, you can go be a guest at the wedding. You have to pay, but it's like a Polish wedding. I'm like, this is a great idea. I would love to bring my friends something like that. Bring a suit, guys. Bring a suit.
Oh, you need to dress up according to
right? Of course. Yeah, dude, get on your best clubber.
Nice.
Put the dress on, the heels, with the makeup on, and let's go out for a night. Yeah, man. Okay. Definitely. Check it out.
Okay, after this crazy pandemic is over, maybe.
Yeah. What made you say that this is where I want to live? Like, what kind of solidified it for you?
Yeah. I mean, it felt very easygoing to be here. Like, it's just a very easygoing lifestyle comparing to United States or Brazil, for example. I feel safe. I go out on the streets. I don't feel like that much paranoid about being robbed like in Brazil, or it just feels easier. Like, of course, the language for me is not easy.
It's super difficult. Everyone, every person I've interviewed so far has said the same thing, and every foreigner I talk to says that too. Like, it's just such a difficult language to understand and to speak. So yeah, but safety, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah. The cost of living is not that expensive comparing to Rio.
It's going up though.
It's going up, yeah. It's more like Katowice is becoming more like Warsaw now.
Yeah.
But comparing to Rio, where I'm from, it's definitely not that crazy. And I feel like the quality of life, even though we're in a city, which is Katowice, I feel that it's still like not crazy busy as a big city. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's not like the Warsaw hustle and bustle. It's not the Krakow traffic. It's like it's on a different scale, if you will.
Yeah.
It's a city, and you have all these things readily available to you. I mean, you have
Walking distance, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Jobka, florist, butcher, tailor. You go out your flat, and you have everything available. Bank, pizza.
Yeah.
So it has the big city. It has a city vibe without.
Yeah, it's very easy going here, I would say.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I can agree. I can 100% agree. There isn't the sense of, I know people say, but America, isn't it better for you, blah, blah, blah. And I say, well, it's a lot easier to live here. It's not so much stress.
Yeah.
You're not being pounded with, you have to make $1 million.
Yeah.
Money, 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 money.
2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs.
Yeah. People don't, and you say like, oh, I work 3 jobs. And people are like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you're nuts. How many jobs did you work? Because I was out from 7 a.m. to like 10 p.m. at night. You never saw your kid? Rarely. It's like, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm chasing that dollar. They're like, you're stupid.
Yeah. But I think you come to, I don't know if it's in Europe in general, but at least here in Poland, I feel like people give more value on staying with family, spending time, holidays together. And as in States, you have a free time, you want to fill it up your schedule with another job.
Yeah.
Right? So I
huge.
feel like a huge difference moving to Poland. But I had that mentality before as well, but I couldn't see it. So here I felt like, ooh, okay, I don't need to be in the rat race,
Super.
Yeah.
And what was the most attractive thing when you were looking at Poland and you're doing all this research? What was the most attractive thing to say? I have all these options of other countries, but I'm really interested in this country. What was the most attractive thing?
Well, I didn't choose Poland because of attractions, right? I came here because of a person. But when I saw the big green forest here was like just whoa. Poland is really green, and I really like that, everywhere you go, it's surrounded by forests. So you can, have contact with nature in a very easygoing way. Yeah, you don't need to drive to a national park, and it's just very accessible to be in the nature in Poland.
Yeah, you're the second person, or actually a few people have said that too, that I know that I go out of my house, and if I just take a left and I drive, 5 minutes, forest.
Yeah.
Like forest.
Yeah.
And nature is all around you. I mean, it really is accessible when you think about it. Driving, you would have to go out of the suburbs, through the city limits, get out, go to the national park. I feel like, and it depends on where you live in America for the accessibility to nature, but I can definitely understand your point of view of it was really difficult sometimes, and you have to go drive.
Yeah, and in Rio, in Brazil, the same. You know, even though we have like this abundance of, you know, wild forest or beaches, you still need to drive to get stressed in the traffic, and you know, after a few hours, after few hours, you'll try to relax in this nature spot, but it's not easy to get.
After you've decompressed from all the traveling, all the stress, you get out of the car and you're like,
and then you need to get stressed back.
And then you got to go back in the car to get back to where you were to go through all that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, what's some of your favorite nature spots around here?
I really don't know the name in Polish, but you know, like I like to go to this Chorzów Park. It's just like a very short
Park Śląski you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a very short drive or a tram ride. I don't know, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. And yeah, we always have lots of fun there. It's good for kids. We always find places there we can be alone, so there's not a lot of people around. And yeah, it's very calming and relaxing there.
So 3 similarities of Poland and Brazil, and 3 differences.
Okay, similarities, I would say this type of connection with family, which it seems very strong here. And in Brazil it's the same, you know, like it's very often that you see that younger generation, they are like going to spend holidays with their elders and things like that. It's very important for them to have Easter together, Christmas together. And it seems that the holidays here, they are a bit longer than in the other countries, maybe because of the Catholic Church. But I feel like it's very important for them to have this time together, which in Brazil is very similar as well, during the holidays, to spend time with family. I also feel that people here are very open and friendly once you meet them.
Once you get in the circle.
Yeah, but it's like, I think it's a bit easier going than in other countries. Like if you compare to Norway, for example, I feel that people there, they are very close and very hard to try to understand if the person is up to a friendship or not. But here it's like, you know, you feel the person. It's like, it's once you have the opportunity to talk and, you know, the person open up is very easy, just like in Brazil. Yeah, but I would say the number one similarity is the family bond and also the Catholic Church as well. Not as, let's say, strong as in Poland. I feel that Poland is the most extremist Catholic country that I ever have been.
Same here.
But yeah, in Brazil, the majority is also Catholic, but not as much as here.
Yeah, I can agree with you with the holidays feeling longer. Christmas is 3 days.
Yeah.
24th, 25th, 26th.
Yeah, that was crazy for me. Like, what? 26?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing on the 26th? Like, I'm going to work. Like, no. You're not. You're sitting home. You're going to eat some more carp. There's plenty of food to be eaten still. And then Easter also. You have Easter Monday. You know, so those, and then of course other holidays, and this is going to be a reoccurring theme. People love taking off the I have a Monday after the holiday. Oh, maybe I'll take Tuesday off as well, or I'll take the Friday before and extend my weekend. Like people love doing that here. Yeah,
in Brazil that is very similar to extend the holidays, or like if you have a holiday on Thursday, you just like eat Friday, right? So you don't do anything on Friday and then you extend completely. That is very similar as in Brazil as well.
So 3 differences now.
Oh, the weather, for sure. That's number one.
Number one, definitely.
Yeah, the lack of sun here, it's big. I feel like the summer is very nice. But like, for example, right now it's supposed to be spring and it just feels like an extension of winter.
Still winter. This is April 17th,
Yeah,
people.
so it feels like most of the year is gray and cold, and then it's like 3 months of hot weather where you can use a t-shirt and maybe sandals, and then you just go back to jackets and boots. So the weather is the main thing, and the lack of sun is big as well for me, comparing to Brazil where it's like sunny mostly all year. And of course, like when you want to buy some, let's say, something silly like bananas, right? You go to the store, all the bananas, they're green. That's like
They're
90%.
super green.
For sure, they will be green. So like buying fresh fruits, like in Brazil, it's completely different, right? You can go to Brazil and buy a banana or avocado and eat on the same day, basically. And here you wait for a week to eat avocado. When we see it's already bad, you need to throw away because you forgot to eat.
The avocados are so hard to get and nail here, for sure.
But the cherries are very good when it's cherry season, and yeah, it's my favorite, the Polish cherries. But for sure, weather, fresh fruits.
Give me one more.
One more, the differences, right?
Yeah.
And the safety, of course.
The safety.
Of course. Here in Poland, it's like you feel, as a Brazilian, you feel so free. You go out on the street, you can open your bag and get your cell phone and, just do whatever, talk on your phone. And you're not scared that somebody's gonna come and say, like, look, give me your phone. It's mine now, or give me your shoes. It's like, that doesn't happen.
Not at all.
I got robbed in Katowice, but from not like in Brazil. I forgot the door of my apartment open for a little while.
You left it open.
I left it open. Somebody entered and took my wallet. But we're in the city center, so those things happen. But
no one ever forced you, like, give me your.
No, like in Brazil, I got the gun pointed on me like 2 times. So I know those things they don't happen here, which makes me feel very safe and relaxed, especially now that I have a small child. Yeah.
I can totally agree with you there, for sure. 3 things you love and 3 things you hate.
Okay. I think I'll start with the 3 things I hate because it's the one that comes first. Okay, it's not that I hate the language, but it's a love-hate relationship. When I arrived here, I entered in a language school, so I could be kind of legal as a student. And I entered in a foreigner school that was supposed to be every day from Monday to Friday, and was so much work and material, and I really disliked. And for me, it's just very difficult to understand the structure of this language. It's like it keeps changing. There's so many variations. And when I think I learned the correct way to say something, there are like more 10 different types.
Yes.
To say the same thing.
100%.
So I just feel like, man, I don't have time to learn this language. I need at least 10 years of time and dedication.
Working here.
Yeah, it's just like when I feel I have some time to study Polish, I want to just read something else. It's just like very hard for me. But I know it's important as a Brazilian living in Poland, and I have, a son that he's half Brazilian and half Polish, and he's going to preschool now, and he gets home and he starts saying Polish things, and I'm like, what are you saying?
I have the same issue sometimes with my son, because he'll come and I'll say, what does that mean? And he'll, Daddy. And he looks at me and he'll say it back to me. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. Like, I'm trying also, by the way. So yeah, the language, I totally
the language
hear you.
is a love and hate relationship. I feel very happy when I try to speak Polish and people get excited, like, whoa, Bianca, you say it in Polish.
Yeah.
Very good. And I feel like, ooh, I'm proud of myself.
I ordered a black coffee one time. It was like kawa czarna, and they were like, you speak Polish? I'm like, I just ordered a coffee, man. That's all I said
That's all.
That's all I
Don't
want.
ask me anything else. So yeah, Polish, it's one of the things that I would put on this list of hate. But
Okay.
it's not that I hate 100%, but it is there.
All right, so there you go.
Yeah.
Number one, number two.
Number two, weather, of course. Come on, it could be a bit warmer here.
Definitely. I agree. I love the sun.
Yeah.
I hear you.
However, when it's very cold and snowy, it's very beautiful.
Super.
It's like magical when everything is white. It's like super, super nice. But when it's just like wet and rainy and all this like funky weather, it's just like, oh gosh. And I miss sometimes beach, you know, like a very nice beach. And Baltic Sea, for me, it's not considered a place to go to swim. Maybe some Polish people will feel offended, but when they tell me, I'm going for holidays to the Baltic Sea, I'm like, that place is not for holidays. It's too cold and it's...
The water is so cold.
Yeah.
We went in August last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful, but it's just way too cold.
Yeah.
It's like, no. So
I hear you.
Those three things, for me, it's crazy. Now, there are many things I love about Poland. The easygoing lifestyle here, the access to healthcare and to education is, I would say that is much better than in Brazil for sure. Here, I get very good and fast healthcare comparing to Brazil, that I would stand on the line for many hours and things like that. Comparing to the public healthcare system. The education also, my son, he goes to a public preschool, and the quality of the preschools here, it seems much better than the public schools in Brazil.
I'm super impressed with the education system here and how accessible. Oh, your son's 3? Great. He can go? Free charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mother gets paid years 1 to 3 to stay home with the child, paid by the country, and then 3 years old. No, we're not paying out of pocket for nursery school here or daycare. You can, but we don't.
In States, to go to a university, you need to invest so much money, right? And then you're like in debt and have to work and study at the same time, or like you need to pay for many years whatever money you took from the government, right, to go to school. And in Poland it's different. As a Polish, you can go to university for free.
Yeah.
So it's like...
I'm still paying off debt from my university, and I will be out of school for close to 15 years now. And I'm still paying off university debts, and I'm not using my university degree by any means. So
yeah, so in terms of health and education, comparing to Brazil or to States, because the health in States is extremely expensive. Like I was talking to an American woman other day that her son broke the arm while in States and was about with ambulance and this and that, blah, 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 was, I think, almost $20,000 because he had surgery and a night in the hospital and the ambulance and blah, 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 blah. He stayed for a few days in the hospital and it was about $20,000. And x-rays, everything adds, right?
Right.
X-ray in States is not less than $500.
Yeah.
So the
screw for the bone is $1,000.
And in Poland, it's like you do something complicated. It's like, it's not that much money.
Right. Or none at all.
Or none at all.
Yeah.
So I do feel that the health system and the education here, of course, is much better in terms of financially or quality as well. Maybe not quality as in States, but like public quality comparing to Brazil for sure. It is much better.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can agree with you on those points. How would you rate the Polish healthcare system here?
Rate like in numbers, you mean? Like
give me a number, 1 to 10. Poor to superior, excellent, awesome, however you'd want to rate it. How would you rate the Polish?
I mean, I can only rate according to the experience of the countries I have lived before, right? So yes. I would say superior to Brazil in terms of quality for sure. Yeah, definitely superior.
Compared to America?
in terms of
accessibility, price.
Yeah, superior as well, from my experience being there, right? Even though I had health care in States, if I had to do like, I don't know, some visit that was after 7 o'clock or something like that, I would have to end up paying, you know, $150 just for a little check over here and there. So
that's one of the things I'm so impressed of here is that I can call at, you know, doctors with LuxMed. I have LuxMed private health insurance, and 6 o'clock, I'm not feeling good. Call, hey, we have an appointment for you at 7:30. 7:30 today? Yeah, 7:30. Come on down. No problem.
super easy.
Yeah, accessibility is awesome, I would say.
Super easy. Yeah. Yeah. In Brazil, even though if you have a healthcare, you need to make an appointment. Maybe you're gonna have to wait for 1 month, and then you know.
If you're ill.
If you know, there is emergency and non-emergency, right? So if it's like non-emergency, who knows how long you're gonna have to wait to have your appointment?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a yeah. And here it's like maybe, I mean, with NFZ, you have public health insurance or private health insurance?
Public.
Yeah. So I know it's like maybe you might have to wait a day for an appointment to get in to see a doctor, but usually it's fairly quickly.
Yeah.
For specialists, though, I hear it's definitely longer. Cardiologist, ophthalmologist.
Yeah, if you need something complicated like, I don't know, like a hip surgery or something like that, it may take a long time.
Couple months, I've heard. And even for an eye doctor, I've definitely heard the wait time is about 2-3 months to go see an eye doctor. So,
but then, you know, in something like that, if it happens, that I would just go for a private doctor.
Yeah.
So I'll get the appointment and like it's not that expensive comparing if I go to a private doctor in States, for example.
Yeah.
So
same with the dentist. I mean, I've gone private to a dentist, and you know, I would say a really deep cavity that will require some hard, you know, drilling and filling and sculpting. 250 is what day.
Yeah.
Okay.
In States, that would not even be.
that'd be thousands.
Yeah.
That'd be thousands.
Yeah.
We got quoted for one root canal. It was $2,500 because Monica was uninsured. And yeah, it was $2,500. I said, we both agreed it'd be cheaper to fly to Poland, have vacation, get her entire mouth fixed, fly back, then go visit the dentist when you're uninsured. Yeah, and it's not a big deal here. It's so, like things with that are in that realm. I'm just so impressed with that. It's that cheap.
Yeah,
like $250.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
do my whole mouth, man. You know.
Yeah, when I was living in Portugal about 2 years ago, we were there for 1 year because Mateus was doing Erasmus program. And there were a lot of people just flying, you know, Portuguese people that lives, for example, in Switzerland or Sweden or whatever. They were flying from those countries back to Portugal just to get those type of cheaper services and good at the same time. Because, you know, it's just cheaper. In Poland, the same. I'm pretty sure there are people that, you know, I know people that, for example, they live in Germany and they fly from there here to get their stuff done. And they go back.
Yeah.
So it just makes more sense.
No, I hear you, definitely. So you gave birth here.
Yeah.
In Poland.
In Tehe.
In Tehe. Which hospital?
Oh, remember? Gosh. I don't know the name, but it's like the hospital where...
Szpital Wojewódzki?
I don't know.
That's where Oliver was born, Szpital Wojewódzki.
Yeah, it's the same hospital where Mateus was born, so...
It's right off of S1, the highway. You take that exit, and it's on the left-hand side.
Maybe.
I
don't remember.
You're like, I was giving birth, man. I don't know where I was.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was dark, it was in the evening. I barely remember the way.
Trying to get this baby out of my body. I don't know where I'm being taken.
Yeah, but it was in Tehe, and it was a okay experience. Was good.
So, talk to us about the care you received, if you remember, during birth. But mainly, I'm really concerned about the aftercare of mother-child care.
I was going to a doctor in Tehe, and I told him in the beginning that, you know, I want to to have a more natural birth as much as possible. So he recommended me this hospital in Tehran that was good. We had some classes in the afternoon in this hospital from the nurses on like what to expect during the pregnancy, how to do after, and all those, newborn cares and everything. And it was pretty cool, was free, and was like, it was nice. The experience of giving birth in the hospital was very positive. I felt supported, and even though I couldn't communicate at all in English with them, with the nurses, Matheus was allowed to be with me all the time. And that is something that usually in Brazil I don't think is possible to
I didn't even think about that you don't speak any Polish, and you have Polish nurses taking care of you, and you can't even communicate with them. You're going through this life event of giving birth to your child. But Mateo, I was there for Oliver's birth too. I was around. I was next to Monica. Yeah, so even though we didn't speak the same language, we couldn't communicate, I felt well supported. The afterbirth, I had to stay 3 days as a rule in the hospital. And the afterbirth, I got like many times a visit from a nurse to check on the baby, to help me to take care of the belly button thing and how to breastfeed. And, it was really cool. I felt like really well supported, like it was very nice. Did you have the midwife coming to the hospital, coming to your house? Yeah. After? Yeah. How long did that last? You remember? She was coming like every week, maybe 4 times. Yeah. So the first month. So it's a month of Yeah, so she was checking the belly button, checking how to, in the beginning, the breastfeeding, it's complicated, right? Sometimes. I have no experience with that. Sometimes it's too much milk production, and then many things happen. Anyway, she was like giving really good tips and how to bath the baby. She bathed him with me, and how to hold, how to put to sleep, how to make comfortable. She was like really giving all her experience, and it was very natural for her, and it was very natural for me too. Even though I didn't know her, I felt like she was a very nice person to be in my house in that moment. Yeah, I can agree with you there. I was shown how to bathe Oliver, dress him. If he had the colic or the stomach issue, and turn the baby over, pat like this, put the baby on your chest, lay down like this. It's like, I would have never have thought about that stuff. Yeah, and for me it was really important because, all my family is back in Brazil. So I don't have like support from my mother or my grandmother. I don't have their type of wisdom in this subject. They can tell me something on the phone, but they are not there to physically helping you. So having this woman from time to time was really helpful. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, it's such a great thing here, I would say. All right, so now let's move forward to some schools and such. What are some differences between preschool in Brazil and preschool here in Poland? So the preschools in Brazil, they are good if they're not from the government, let's say, if they're like private, so you have all those different options, those extra classes and very nice toys and playground and things like that. If it's public, it's probably the quality is not that good, and public teachers, they are not paid that well, so maybe sometimes they don't even they don't go to work, and then the kids are like, okay, no teachers today, so probably the parents needs to take them back home, and then they miss a day of work. So I think it's more complicated. Teachers aren't paid well here either. The teachers are not paid very well, for sure. And I noticed that the passion with the teachers is superb, man. Yeah, they really love what they do, right? So it's not as accessible in Brazil, public preschool, to preschool here in Poland?
Yeah, I would say that I feel much. I feel that it's safer for students. If I need to choose between private and public school here in Brazil, it's safer for Surya, for my son, to be in a public school in Poland than in Brazil, for sure.
That's like 100%. That's how I feel. You haven't looked more into like primary schools, or no, you're not there yet. So
no, I mean it gets worse, right? As the kids are older and the schools. The public schools system in Brazil, it got worse. So in terms of security and things like that, right?
Same here with America, you know, like I think we had another school being shot up last week, or there was another event, and there's been multiple shootings in the past month. I know that. So security-wise, I'm always saying that I feel much better with him going to school here. Yeah. And I mean, the public school is so clean.
Yeah.
It's kept very clean. It's organized. It's tidy. I mean, you can smell it, how clean it is.
And
when
you know
walk
what
in.
He's eating, what type of food
food
they
is,
serve.
I can't believe the food. You know, fresh vegetables, fresh potatoes, fresh meat. And he said, I had duck the other day. I'm like, you had duck? Where did you have duck? In Preschools, Daddy. I'm like,
I know.
Can we get some duck in here? Like, can we make that happen? For real? So yeah, and the food and the quality of food. You know, I remember our meals in my school were definitely not the healthiest. Preservatives, not the freshest stuff.
Yeah, microwave stuff. Right?
Yeah. The microwave, you know, pre-made meals, frozen, unfrozen. Here's like fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, fresh meat, compotes, juices. Yeah. So I would just say overall the quality of education as a whole is much better from the ground up. Plus, as you're saying, public universities and such.
Yeah.
All right. What's something you would tell someone moving to Poland? What would you tell them? Like if someone's like, I don't know if it's a good fit, if I should come, what should I do?
You should definitely try. If you have this calling, right, because of some reason, let's say, like, I'm part of like those Facebook groups, let's say Brazilians in Poland, and from time to time there are lots of Brazilians, they like, you know, it's easy for Brazilian people to come to Poland if they had like, let's say a grandparent that it's Polish, because we received lots of Polish people after the Second World War. So we have an agreement between countries that Brazilian people can come. And sometimes people, they're wondering like, oh, maybe I should come, like how is life there? Or, you know, it's always the same, like you should try, you should come, and it feels much safer than in Brazil. The lifestyle is easygoing. Of course, if you're coming from a tropical country, it's gonna feel sometimes a bit harsh, the winter.
Pack that coat.
But you really need to learn how to dress. I didn't know how to dress myself. Like,
same here.
I didn't know. And sometimes I would see a sunny day and I was like, oh, I'm going on a t-shirt outside. And then after 1 hour I was freezing cold.
Yeah.
You really, those things, you need to learn with time as a foreigner. But yeah, I feel that is a very friendly, peace-going place to be. It feels nice to be here. When we're in Malaysia, because of COVID, we couldn't come back. We got our flights back to Poland canceled 3 times. When I got here, it felt like, so nice.
Relief, right?
Yeah, it feels like, it's so nice to be back. Yeah, it feels nice. Of course, when the winter comes, I want to get out for a few weeks, but it always feels like nice to be back.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank
it was very nice.
For your advice to the audience and such, and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yes, it was a pleasure.
We got to hang out, play dates with the kids.
Yes, definitely.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.